Now is Ed Sprague, former Toronto Jays player and a 1992 and 93 World Series player. Ed, thanks for taking some time for us today.
Hey, my pleasure.
Hey, you watched that, you listened to that. Does that take you right back, or give me your thoughts and sentiments about feeling about after seeing that home run?
Yeah, it's been a while, let's say, but no, certainly great memories. You know, back then playing in Toronto, those two World Series were great times for sure.
That was early on in your career, right? You had just started. You got with the Blue Jays in 1991. You go on these runs with a couple of the biggest names in the league. What was, those runs, both in particular for you? Were there some moments that stand out, or what was it like as a young player in the league getting a chance to win 2 championships?
Yeah, I just think it was a great mix of young players and veterans. That they put together. Pat Gillick put together great teams, and we just continued to add on. We lost 11 players from the 92 team and rebooted with guys like Dave Stewart and Tony Fernandez and Paul Molitor, and so it was quite a different aspect of the two teams together, but it was really great times.
I remember watching them both vividly. I was really young. What are your best memories from the World Series in particular? I'm assuming Joe Carter in '93 has to be one of them. But what any other moments stand out for you from you and playing in those games in those series?
Yeah, I'd say probably I think it was maybe Game 4 in Philadelphia when we came back 15-14 in the locker room after that game. It was almost like an NFL locker room after winning the Super Bowl. That was crazy. The days are so long. There's so much distraction. Using that clubhouse as a sanctuary to get away from it all and be with your teammates, that's probably my favorite memory.
I love that. So, you talk about the distraction. There's lots. We had Media Day yesterday. Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Dodgers, are in Toronto right now. How do you deal with that as a player, as you're going to start for a lot of these players, going to be their first World Series, not all of them, but, what do you rely on? What are the players going through on a day like today as they get set to open the World Series?
Yeah, I think you got to lean on some of the guys that have been there before, and they have a couple, and you just stick to your routine. I know it's hard. The routine's going to have to be adjusted, and you have to be comfortable with adjusting your routine based on the media responsibilities and the game times and all the autograph things you have to sign in the locker room. But being able to, once you get on the field, you got to really stick with what you've done all year long and your routine in the batter's box, on the mound, in the field, whatever it is, and just try to stay in the moment as much as possible.
What does it mean? You played in the city of Toronto for a number of years. You played those World Series, and I'm sure you remember, back in Skydome when it was still Skydome back in the day for you, and the energy that came. So what does, the return of the World Series and the Fall Classic mean for, the city of Toronto? And do you think for people here, for baseball fans in Canada, but also, in the U.S. to have the Fall Classic back in Toronto?
Yeah, I think it's not just special for Toronto, of course, but the entire country. We know that as players who've played there and have won there, these guys will be remembered throughout the country for the rest of their lives, really. So it's special, and they got to enjoy it, and I know the city's going to rock the house down there for sure.
That's true. What are you expecting from the series, right? I'm sure you've kept a close eye and close tabs on this team so far, but what are we expecting?
I think it's going to be a great series. I think I'm not buying the Blue Jay underdog thing. I think they are underdog a little bit just based on the Dodgers' experience in the postseason, but I think they have the momentum, going to Game 7, opening up at home, the Dodgers being off for a week. So I'm going to say Jays in 7.
Jays in 7. I was going to ask if you wanted to make a prediction, but I think that Jays fans will love to hear that. Ed Sprague, former Toronto Jays player, 1992 and 93 World Series champ. Thanks so much, Ed, for this. Appreciate it this morning.
My pleasure. Enjoy it.